I'm Tim Henderson, and this is my 7th grade health class, and this is going to be the video that I make for my simulation. Alright, class, who's got good things to share today? Something good that's happened this week, or today, or yesterday? Wilbur? Your mom came home from work? Alright, that's a good thing. Let's give her a round of applause. Mr. Mays, what do you got good for us?
My dad's going to work.
Your dad's going to work?
Stepdad.
Alright, that's a good thing. Give a round of applause. Caitlin?
I'm going to pitch my sister.
You going to pitch it if it's dry enough, right?
Oh, we're going to inside.
Oh, they do it inside. Alright. How long has it been since you pitched? 7 days?
No.
No. How long since you pitched last?
Like 40.
That's a long time for you. Alright, she gets to pitch today. Alright, let's go ahead and start on the objectives on the board. We're going to analyze and identify mental and emotional problems today. We're still working on chapter 4. We're on page 94. We're going to start down there. We're going to start at the top, sometimes just admitting. Wannabe, pick somebody to read.
Sometimes just admitting to a family member or a friend that you feel anxious helps other people. It may give you the reassurance and encouragement that you need. Overcoming your anxiety will help build your
Resilience.
Resilience is the ability to adapt to and recover from disappointment, difficulty, or crisis.
Resilience.
Resilience is also known as the bounce-back factor. People who develop resilience can bounce back from setbacks and disappointment.
Alright, so resilience, according to the book, Mr. Mays, what's it say? Read the definition. Read it loud.
Exercise self-control.
That's what resilience says?
No, is the ability to adapt to and recover from disappointment, difficulty, or crisis.
Alright, so resilience, the ability to adapt and recover from disappointment, difficulty, or crisis. One thing that I've always liked to do in health class is bring this topic up. We're what, 2015, right? Okay? We have all this stuff, right? And our forefathers that came over didn't have much stuff. So I pose this question. As human beings, our forefathers that came over, were they more resilient than we are today? Alright? Do you understand what the question I'm asking? Who's more resilient? Who's more able to come back from disappointment, difficulty, or crisis? Are we or were they? I want you to get with your 3 o'clock appointment and talk about it, and you're going to share with your class. Keep it going. So get with your 3 o'clock appointment and y'all talk about the question. Who was more resilient? Were the forefathers more resilient, or were we more resilient? And explain why. You got to explain your answer. Who was more resilient, our forefathers or us as human beings?
Middle class.
Everybody's fine? There's no way.
Carter's apologize.
Us. About 30 seconds. 30 seconds, we'll move on.
We got our own.
If you're done, go back to your seat. Oh, I got to figure it out. All right. Which group wants to share? What'd y'all come up with, Ava? Who was in your group?
Bryson Gillespie.
All right, you and Bryson. What'd y'all come up with?
We came up with like back then we weren't as spoiled because back then they didn't have phones or anything, and they had to do something to be active outside instead of being inside all the time.
Okay, so you would say that they were more resilient because they didn't have technology. All right. No right or wrong answer here, guys. All right. What'd you come up with, Patterson? Who was your partner?
Jessica.
All right. What'd y'all come up with, Jessica?
We said that we have the more resilience because we actually have technology to help us feel better.
All right. All right. Good point. Harness?
Like they didn't get attached to the most of stuff.
Do what?
They didn't get as much like attached to stuff.
So what do you mean they didn't get attached as much?
Like his family members, stuff like that. They didn't get like attached to.
So you're saying they're more resilient because they didn't get attached to their family members?
Just stuff like that, yeah. Like
Okay. All right. I tell you, I used to think this, and like I said, there's no right or wrong here. I used to think that back then that they were more resilient. You know, they had to go out and hunt for their food. What do? We go to Walmart and buy it, or brochures, wherever you go. You know, they had to walk places or ride a horse. You know, they had to go cut wood to stay warm. What do? I go and turn up my thermostat. But then I had a student bring this to me. Who lives longer, Coach? Back then, the life expectancy was probably under 50. The average human life expectancy now anywhere from 75 to 80. All right? They died of common diseases like pneumonia. Some people still die of pneumonia today, but not near as much. You know, think about all the vaccines you get as a little child that we'll talk about later in health. You know? So who really is more resilient? It's a good argument. All right? Good points that you brought to the class. Expressing anger. I'm sure there's none of y'all that need to learn how to do this right. Right, Bryson? All right? Want to be. Pick somebody to read.
I'm gonna pick Avon.
It is normal to feel angry at times, but some people express their anger in unhealthy ways. Yelling, hitting, and threatening are not healthy ways to express anger. It is also not healthy to hold anger inside or to deny how you feel.
All right?
Try
Why is it not good to hold anger inside? Why is it not good?
Because they'll build up.
Because it'll build up,
Make you resent against something.
make you be resentful towards people. All right? Anybody else? Those are good. Why is it not good to punch people, Snyder? Huh? If you get mad, why is it not good to punch people? Because it inflicts pain upon them? Because you could hurt them, you could hurt yourself? What about yelling? Is that a good way to express anger? No, it's not. So let's talk about ways that are good to express anger. Raise your hand if you've never been angry before. Alright, if you were to raise your hand, I'd have probably called you a fibber or a liar. Alright, everybody gets mad. It's a human emotion, right? We just talked about that yesterday. Alright, keep going, Mr. Mays.
Try these steps when you feel angry. Exercise self-control. Take a deep breath and stay calm. Focus on exactly what you made angry. Exactly what you made angry. Think of words to communicate your true feelings. Calmly tell the other person how you feel and what action has caused you to feel this way. Tell the person what you expected from him or her in the future.
Alright? One of the hardest things to do right there is calmly tell the other person how you feel and what action caused you to feel this way. Alright? One of the biggest deals, y'all know me, I'm an open book towards you. I tell you personal experiences. You know, when me and my wife get mad at each other, yeah, imagine that. Me and my wife argue every now and then. That's natural, guys. If you have a relationship where, it's not good to argue all the time, but it's not good to agree on everything. because probably one person is being submissive to the other person. So when me and my wife do feud or argue a little bit, the biggest thing for her to let me do is cool down. Okay? Because if some of you, my athletes in here, have seen, when I get mad, I can not express anger the right way. Right, Janeway?
Yes, sir.
Alright? So, I like to have a cool down period where I go and do my own thing. I might need a 3-hour cool down period, just depending on how escalated the fight has been. Alright? How big the fight has been. What does she want to do? Can y'all guess?
Hang on about it.
She wants to fix it right then. She doesn't really want to ag it on, but she wants to fix it right then. She wants to fix it before I go off and have my cool down period. Well, it's kind of water and oil that don't mix. Alright? Because I really need a cool down period when I get mad. Or I'm not going to be able to calmly tell her what made me mad. Y'all remember earlier in the year we talked about you messages instead of I messages instead of you messages? Because if I'm mad, it's going to be you instead of putting it in those I messages. That's one of the hardest things to do is to calmly tell the other person how you feel. And be respectful about it. Don't be like, oh, when you did this and you're so stupid, you shouldn't have done that. That's not a nice way to tell it. What's going to happen? You're going to start the fight all over again. Understanding your emotional needs. Want to be. Pick somebody else.
We'll pick Keith. Everyone has physical needs such as water, food, and sleep. You also have emotional needs. These are needs that affect your feelings and sense of well-being. Your basic emotional needs include the following.
Pick it up from there, Gillespie.
The need to feel worthwhile.
The need to feel,
We're at the red bullet.
the need to feel worthwhile. You need to feel that you make a difference in the world, that you are making a contribution. Working towards short-term and long-term goals will give you a sense of accomplishment.
Alright, so the next three that we read are going to be emotional needs. The need to feel worthwhile. You want to be needed, and we'll come to that. These are all kind of run the same, but you want to make a difference. You want to be on the basketball team making a difference, not just, going through the motions. And guys, just because maybe you don't play or maybe you're not a starter, but if you go out and work hard every day, you're pushing that person that's starting over you to work just as hard as you, or what's going to end up happening, Mitchell? If I'm starting over you and you're working your tail off and I'm not, what's going to end up happening?
You're probably, the person that's working harder is probably going to be feeling.
You're going to end up taking my spot. So, if you work hard, you're making a difference to your team. Alright? The need to be loved and be loved. Go ahead, Snyder.
The need to love and be loved. You need to feel that you are cared for and that you are special to someone, family, friends, and classmates.
Alright? Who doesn't want to be loved? Who wants to go through life and not be loved? Not me. I'm glad my wife loves me, my little kid loves me, my brothers love me. And some of y'all love me. Some of you don't. That's okay. Alright? That's a human emotion. Everybody needs it. Okay? Read the next one. Patterson.
You need to belong. You need to know that others accept and respect you as you are. Find friends who are accepting, reliable, and trustworthy.
Alright? I'm going to tell you, these emotional needs, it's part of our human DNA. Not only human, but it's animal also. Humans are top of the food chain. Okay? If you didn't know that. Alright? If you've ever watched a group of cows out in the pasture, alright? Or a group of horses, or any groups of animals, alright? What do they normally do?
Eat.
Alright? They eat, but they eat what?
Grass.
They eat together. Most of the time. Am I right or wrong? Because they want to be part of the herd. When I go and separate, I got to wean a calf in about 2 months. When I go to wean her, I'll put her in a pen where she can still see her mama. What's she going to do, cow people?
Freak out.
Well,
She could be more calm because she's alone.
It's not what I'm looking for.
She's gonna try to get out.
And she could try to get out, and she's gonna bawl and bawl and bawl and bawl. She'll continue to move because I'm taking her away from her mom. Is she happy about it, Lyra? No, she's not happy about it. Okay? So I'm going to take her away from her mom. She loves her mom. She belongs to her mom. Since she was born for 8 months, she's been with her mom. And when I go to take her away, she's going to upset her. Humans are no different. If you took me away from my family and told me I could never see my little girl again, we're going to be fighting. Alright? That just ain't going to happen. Alright? Let's go ahead and move over to page 96. I know Mr. Mays has been itching to get into this chapter. Lesson 3. Let's talk about the mental and emotional problems. Kinds of mental and emotional health problems. Top of 96. Pick somebody want to be.
I'm gonna let Sadie.
Alright?
Everyone has problems from time to time. Most people overcome their problems and are able to function well at home, school, and work. About 1 person in 5 cannot cope. However, such people need treatment in order to regain their mental health. As with most illnesses, the earlier treatment begins, the more effective it will be. Early identification and treatment can prevent long-term disability. The 3 most common types of mental health problems are anxiety disorders, personality disorders, and mood disorders. People with these disorders are troubled by worries, fears, or other emotions that interfere with their daily lives.
Keep going.
Anxiety disorders. Most people experience anxiety from time to time. It's a normal reaction to challenging and worrying situations. Some people, however, have unreasonable or excessive anxiety. These people have anxiety disorder, a condition in which intense anxiety or fear keeps a person from functioning normally. Figure 4.3 describes common anxiety disorders and their symptoms.
Alright, let's look up there. Figure 4.3. Types of anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders are grouped into 5 categories shown here. It says 5 categories. There's 5. Yeah, I can't count today. Alright, disorder. Generalized anxiety disorder. Finish reading it, Mitchell.
Restlessness, tiredness, difficulty concentrating, irritability, muscle tension, sleep disturbance.
What's generalized mean, Roller? Give me another word for generalized.
Normal?
No, not really normal. Kind of broad. It's kind of like that. Alright, generalized, maybe normal. Alright, it's kind of a broad, it's not specific. Okay, so maybe normal could be an alright word for it. But generalized anxiety means it's kind of broad. It's not specific. The next ones that come down are more specific. Alright? Generalized anxiety disorder, you're just going to be kind of restless, you're going to be tired, it's going to be hard to concentrate. This is kind of, some of y'all have this, okay? Some of you probably have this, hopefully not every day, but maybe once a month, twice a month, maybe once a week. Panic disorder. Jocelyn, read it for us.
Pounding heart, sweating, trembling, shortness of breath, nausea, fear of losing control.
Has anybody in here ever had a panic disorder or a panic attack that they know of? All right. Would you like to describe what it was like, Maze?
When I had it, it felt like I had lost control of my body, and it felt like I was gonna.
All right. What caused your panic attack? I've never had a panic attack, guys. But what caused your panic attack?
Being around people I don't know.
All right. You kind of talked about that earlier. Being around people that you don't know. Miss Connor, would you like to share? Okay, that's fine. Anybody else want to share? Kind of how they felt? I've never had it, but I mean, I would almost like be feared for my life almost. Like, I would be in such a panic, and I would kind of be, I feel like I would be like, I have lost control of the situation, and I'd be looking for a way out. That's all I'd be concerned about, is just running. Now that I think about it, I think when my dad died I watched my father pass. Okay, I told you he had cancer, and I watched him pass, okay? I think I did, now that I recall, I think I did have a panic attack he coded that where you see on the TV that he flatlined. Well, at that time they called it cold blue or whatever they called. I don't really remember. And here come this whole team of doctors that they came rushing in. All right. When they did that, they wouldn't let me stay in the room, and I just took off running. Where was I going? I don't know. But I did have a panic attack. That was the only time I ever had it. I had lost control. I couldn't do nothing about it. All right. Phobia. One.
Intense and integrate fear of specific solution or object. Example: fear of spiders or a fear of flying.
All right. Phobia. Who has a fear? Like you just go, like you're scared to death of it. I mean, what is it, Janway?
Riding big roller coasters.
All right. Riding big roller coasters. All right. Fear of people.
Yeah.
All right. But a phobia is like, okay, let's say that a phobia would be this. I mean, I'm talking about like you're super scared. Okay? You're super scared, like out of your mind. Okay, if I had a fear of spiders, which is called arachnophobia, if I saw a spider, it could be over there, I would probably jump up on the counter, scream like a little girl, all right, and be like, David, kill the spider, kill the spider, kill the spider, oh my God, somebody kill the spider. And y'all would be laughing and all that. But it's just it's intense, exaggerated fear. I mean, okay, it's a spider. All right? I mean, I'm a human with a shoe on. How hard was that? But to the person that has that fear, it's intense, right, Mitchell? Just super intense. Like they won't do it. They won't go around it. All right? What's yours?
Being in small spaces.
Claustrophobic. I got a great story about that. It's kind of mean.
I don't like being in tight spaces either.
Claustrophobic.
Just snakes and claustrophobic.
Alright? My wife is super claustrophobic. Okay? Every now and then, this is bad, but every now and then I will take a pillow and I will put it over her face. And I will hold it there. And I'm telling you, of course I'm not trying to kill her, I'm being funny, right? Of course she doesn't think it's funny, right, Patterson? She comes up, when I let off, I have to go to the living room, and then we play Tom and Jerry, and she chases me around the living room a little bit until we're like, she's tired and we're done. But every now and then I'll hold her nose, because a claustrophobic person, they like to breathe out of both. All right, and I mean, she'll swing at me, but I'll be like, she can't reach me. All right, but anyway, don't do that to a claustrophobic person. Obsessive compulsive disorders. Alright? Janway.
Obsession such as the need to perform behaviors over and over. Compulsions such as hand washing, counting, hoarding, and arranging possessions.
Alright. I have a phobia, and I am also OCD. Okay? You've probably noticed. I have a phobia. I'm a germaphobe. I don't like to shake people's hands. Okay? I don't like to kind of touch what other people's touch. I mean, and that's just me. Now, like if you come to my house, I mean, I don't know where you've been. So when you leave, I won't do it while you're there, but most of the time after somebody leaves, I take like some Lysol and I spray it on the couch because I'm a germaphobe after they sat there. My carpet at home is not nice. I mean, it's not like grungy with, stains all over it. I mean, it's just worn carpet. But I don't like for people to wear their shoes on it. Not because they're going to get it dirty, per se, because alright, I've been in the guy's bathroom. Right, Gillespie? Half the time the guys in here can't hit the pot. So I think they're walking in that, then they're going to come in and walk on my carpet, you know what I'm saying? And that's how my mind works. That's not good. I have an anxiety disorder. Obsessive compulsive. Obsessive compulsive is a obsession such as needing to perform the behavior over and over again. I am obsessive compulsive. It started when I was a little kid. I can specifically remember walking down the hall at school and touching something 7 times. But, I had to. You can laugh about it, but I had to touch it 7 times. So if I touched this once, I had to touch it 6 more times. And I would count. Why? Why is that? I don't know. I don't know if it's DNA. I don't know if it's genetic. I don't know. Obviously, it's an anxiety problem. I have to mow my yard a certain way. If I don't weed eat first, then to me, it's not done right. Now, could I absolutely do it? It's not going to kill me if I mow and weed eat. It's not going to kill me, but it'll bother me until I do it again. Because to me, it's not done right. Alright? I just have little tics like that. I'm telling you, they're not normal. I'm OCD about stupid things. And I know they're stupid. And some of them drive my wife crazy. Alright? But I always ask my class, does anybody have an OCD that they want to share? I've shared 2 with you. I hope you're not OCD. Some people have to clean their room a certain way. They have to. If they don't do it that way, then if they don't feel like it's done right, then they have to do it. Who's ever seen the show Interventions? Or you heard about it? Intervention is somebody that has a severe problem, whether it's hoarding or OCD. I watched one intervention. I don't watch it much, but I was flipping through the channels and I saw it, and it said OCD, so I watched a little bit of it. This person, guys, they were so bad. It was a woman. She had to fully take a bath, fully fix herself, fully do her hair. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Alright, ladies, my wife can get ready pretty quick for a woman. She really can. 30 minutes and she's ready. I'm talking, that's bath, showered, makeup, hair blow dry, done. Okay, maybe 40. Alright? 40. Some women it takes hour and 15 minutes. Just depends on the woman. She had to do it 3 times. She was having to wake up 4 hours before she had to leave to get it done. Of course, she needed an intervention. She needed some help. Alright? So if you are OCD, it's not the end of the world. There is ways to get help out there. At this point in my life, my wife will say, you need help. Alright, I'm like, no I don't. I got it under control. Alright? So, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Alright? Where are we at? Garcia?
Withdrawal or depression after a distressing experience such as sexual abuse, mental disorder, disaster accident, or missing months.
PTSD. That's what it's mostly called. Like the book says, it's something that is just severe in your life that happens. My brother, he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. My brother was in the Army. My brother fought 2 tours in Iraq. My brother's seen stuff that no man should have to see. I'm not going to go into gory details. But my brother takes medication for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay? Every now and then he'll talk about stuff that he had to do and he had to see. Every now and then he'll wake up in the middle of the night, cold sweat, because he's having dreams or flashbacks, as they call, about what's happened. People that get raped or sexually abused, it's hard for them. They go off and they get raped or ssexually abused, and then they go off to, get married and, do things when you're married, and sometimes that's hard to cross over. Because when, they'll have a flashback of their attacker attacking them. Alright? That's post-traumatic stress disorder. Could you imagine being in Hurricane Katrina, watching everything you've ever, loved flood, watching your neighbors drown? That'd be pretty dramatic, wouldn't it? It would be for me. A natural disaster, people have post-traumatic stress. Alright? Personality disorders. Wannabe, pick somebody. Didn't it? Personality
disorder include a variety of
psychological
that affect a person's ability to get along with others. People with personality disorder behave in unexpected ways. These disorders affect their thinking, moods, personal relationships, and control of sudden